People's cat. I am going to do the long voyage back. I'm releasing this on Wednesday. I'm having some issues. One of the main issues I've got right now is volume load of work. What I have done today is grade these. What I did yesterday was I graded these, and then tomorrow my darling students are sitting an exam, which I can't show you in case any of them subscribe to me secretly. And then I get a whole bunch of papers, another 115 major papers, like 5 to 10 pages each, and I have to mark them in a week, make sure all the marks are up to date and correct. I'm old school, like Uncle Al. This is how I do my grading. So I'm old school like Uncle Al. This is how I do my grading on a bit of paper. Stick it in the thing. What did I do today? Well, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I went to Quadriceps or whatever it's called, Quadramed, some garbagey system we're getting at the hospital. So I had to learn how to use it. So they gave me all this stuff. And an appeal to people out there. Remember, some of us are old and we can't see small font. And it was about 6 hours, 7 hours, and it took me about 15 minutes to do what I wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to do. But that's it. Anyway, before then, Kitty's dad's been sick with pneumonia, low grade, fever, febrile, falling a little bit, not doing the greatest, and so we've been kind of looking after them, and that's heavily featured in next Tuesday's pandemic series, how you actually go about setting up the structure, not the quarantine part, but how to set up actual nursing care for somebody who's got a fever and can't drink without using IVs. IVs is the go-to in the cheap and easy way of doing it, but it's not actually SHTF. So that was kind of busy. We were up again at like 2 o'clock last night helping him because he had slipped again onto the floor and he was too weak to get up, and of course Dorothy is not as strong as she used to be. Just got a coffee. I need something. So yeah, so that's cool. And then right now, Kitty and her mom are at the local hospital with him. He's been seen, he's been given IV antibiotics because they think he does have a bacterial infection, mild, and they are going to probably admit him to a medical floor for a few days, which is kind of garbagey. Being Kennedy, while he's in emerge, we're not going to leave him alone. The nursing care in emerge, because of staffing and workload issues, is dreadful, no matter which emerge you're in. But once he gets to the floor, they'll be able to go home and get some sleep. So yeah, so I think happy thoughts for him. I'm going to cut him in a bit from the pandemic onto this so you can see him. And I feel kind of bad for filming him, but it seemed to fitted well with the pandemic and everybody was happy to do it. Hello, John.
Oh.
Turn over here if you don't mind.
Good heavens, he's going to...
Videoing you. How are you feeling?
A drink for you.
Probably a little better.
Yeah?
I still have a terrible cough.
Yeah. I'm not going to get very close to you.
John's got some antibiotic he'll maybe give us for you.
What is this?
It's
Red Dragon flavour.
Red Dragon flavor. Is it good?
No.
Yeah, good.
I got you a bunch, so.
He's not quite as flushed. Although I probably do. I gave him 2 Tylenol at 12. So
you're doing the Tylenol and the aspirin every 2 to 3 hours each, right?
uh
So he gets like 2 to 3 hours aspirin, then 2 to 3 hours later Tylenol.
no, I haven't been doing that.
Yeah, try that. That'll get his temperature down. So here's to you, John. And when I'm not working, I will do some toast with scotch, because you like scotch. Now the other thing is, work is really, really busy, so I go in Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and this new thing starts on Friday, and it'll probably be terrible, because these things always are, nobody can input the data anymore, and it's all crazy. So that's that. But then on Monday, after sleeping downtown at one of my co-workers' spare rooms for 4 or 5 hours, I then go to a meeting for 5 or 6 hours, and then I get to go home. And then I actually will have Tuesday off, but I'll be marking and finishing off the semester. And then on Tuesday night I got overtime. So where does this all leave me? It leaves me asking you guys to think happy thoughts for Kitty and Mom and John. And it ties in with the notion of burnout. Prepper burnout is a made-up issue. It's a thing. If you're actually prepping for emergencies, if you're prepping for realistic and extreme emergencies, there is so much to learn both in information and skills. You really can't get burned out. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think if you do it for like 10, 12 years and it's all you do and you're not working much, yeah, maybe you can get fed up with it. I certainly am producing still, most days I'm producing a daily video. Like I say, Friday there may not be a video. And Saturday I may use a video I was going to put up next weekend, where it's a prepper tag that I responded to. So if you don't see me for a couple of days, and I know I haven't been commenting as much as I like to, it's not because I'm fed up or burned out, it's because I'm just generally overstretched. Family comes first, no matter what. And also the bills and getting cash to retire comes second. Close second to you guys. I love you all. And I'm not disappeared, I'm still floating around, but I'm not able to hit all the videos I want to hit. And thanks for all those people that have been watching it and commenting and doing reply videos like Uncle Al did one. That means a lot. I think there's a lot of layers to it. What I'm doing with the pandemic series, I'm trying to show it realistically what a hammer blow is of a 30% death rate in a few weeks. Nothing's going to stand that. It will collapse. But the collapse is temporary. And even preppers with medical training may well lose loved ones and would lose co-workers, a lot of co-workers actually. And it would be a roll of the dice whether we died or lived if we were still working. If we were holed up at the Shire and we were lucky not to get into contact, we knew it was coming, we can batten down the hatches for the period of time, which is what everybody says they're going to do. But unless you've already bugged out and you have very few social contacts already, a massive pandemic would absolutely hit you. And at that point it is luck. Yes, you can do some quarantine skills, yes you can take some medications, yes you can do this and the other. But other than a meteor strike, pandemic is the one thing you can't really do much prepping for. So I'm going to give you some tips, and you'll see some tips. I'm going to definitely keep the pandemic series going, and the Thursday fun of course will be kept going. But other than that, I'm not going to commit for the next week to do anything else. So just to let you know. So send good thoughts to John, and hope he can survive Canada's socialised healthcare system. Toodles for me and Mr. Bear. Oh, and there's some pictures of a possum that was at York University last week, right by the glass window I was at. Possums are pretty rare up here, they're not unknown, but with the world getting warmer, we're seeing more and more possums, which for us is it's a rare sighting. It's like, oh, it's a possum. Probably like for a lot of you guys down south seeing a beaver. You'd be like, that's a beaver. So anyway, forgive me. For me, a possum's a rare creature. This is Toodles Bye. And that's the way it is. So remember SHTF, if you don't prepare, tomorrow will always be worse than today. And stay safe. Kitty's had the flu, I've had the flu, Mom's had the flu, Dad's had the flu. Everybody's getting the flu. I'm hoping Pandemic 2019 stays a fictional series.